Okay, came out for a early morning field trip up to this old red ore mine site that dates back circa 1900 to 1910. And the mines were located up in this remote section, desolate section, Long Red Mountain. So it's kind of hard to get here. But just going to be looking for some remains of red ore drift mines. And what we've got right here is the remains of stacked rock walls, which they had the tramway line, the minecart tramway line. This is an entirely built up tramway line stacked up with rocks, and it goes back into the ravine. And up there were red ore drift mines on the right flank of the ravine and the left flank. And behind me, back probably about another 150 yards, is where the rail line was, where they had the loading tipple for the rail cars, the siding. So we're just going to proceed up here and just see if there's going to be any remains. I don't expect any of the mines to be open, but it's interesting to see the remains of the raised tramway bed. Might be some rail sections, just not sure. But anyway, be interesting to explore. This is a good viewpoint. You can see the raised rock wall for the minecart tramway bed right there, and it snakes all the way over to here and back into there. So on this upper level right here, and this is where they had another series of drift mines going all the way up the flank. So we're just gonna check this area out and see what I can find. Okay, so got the remains of one of the first drift mines right here. So these go back to circa 1900, operated till about 1910 before they ceased operations. So you can see there's not much left. So the opening would have been right here. You can actually see the ore seam right here. So they're going to be staggered about every 50, 60 feet going up for a certain distance, going up the right flank of this ravine on the mountain. So see what else awaits there. Yeah. Right there, it's completely collapsed. So, all right, we'll just keep proceeding on up to the next one. Okay, this is a look across the ravine to the left side, the left flank of the ravine, and probably can't see with the sun, but there's huge areas going up the mountain where they just stripped away the ore, open cut mining. So it's pretty impressive, man. They extract a lot of ore from this ravine right here. I mean, some of the thickness of the ore seam is like 10 feet, sometimes 12 feet. So got the remains of another drift mine right here. Of course, absolutely nothing left of it. Probably the opening was right here, and there's probably 10 feet of debris, sediment that's just covered it up. So, but this right here is another minecart tramway bed, and all the drift mines were connected with the main one of these minecart tramways. So those guys just pushed those minecarts out. They just came right on this tramway. And it was a inclined tramway method. Hoist operator on either side. They'd have a cable hoist on either side, and way up there along the mountain. And they would lower and raise these mine carts to the respective drift mines that were working. So anyway, we'll just keep heading on up here. Okay, we've got the remains of another drift mine that was right here. You can just see the top just totally collapsed on top of where the mine opening was, but this is always a good indicator. You've got like a 120 plus year old section of tramway rail right there. That's sometimes those are neat to find. Lets you know you're on the right path. So, all right, we'll keep moving on. We might have to move down a little bit, but we'll move up here and then probably move down and try to get up over there if we can. But not an easy place to get to. Okay, this is a pretty definitive drift mine right here. Remains. And they probably had a self-acting tipple right there on the end going down in the minecart tramway. So miners would push these carts out, push it into the self-acting tipple, tip the minecart over, and the contents would go down into another minecart to be lowered down to the loading tipple at the rail siding. But yeah, not much. This is probably the most definitive one I've seen yet. But you know, all these are collapsed and sediment has covered them up. But sometimes it's interesting nonetheless to check where on the walls, because many times the miners they take the end of the pickaxe or a knife and they would carve their initials or their name and the date along the sides or outside these mines. So always try to keep an eye out for that. So anyway, we'll probably drop down here, head up to one more, then we'll see about crossing over. So I've gone ahead and dropped down from that upper level up there, and what you got, they were working two different ore seams here. So these are the lower drift mines right here. That was one. This is the minecart tramway bed. So the mines that were up there had self-acting tipples to dump the contents from the mine, the ore, down onto the waiting mine cars on this tramway bed. So, like I said, drop down one level. And all of this is just tailings. And yeah, this is the minecart tramway right here. And it led up to some different mines right up here. So we'll go up there and check those out before we cross over. Okay, that's looking back down the tramway bed there. The incline tramway. And what you've got here is one drift mine, the remains of one. You've got another one right here where this big tree collapsed who knows how long ago. It just took out the rest of this drift mine right here. I mean, hey, it could have been open until that tree fell. But such is the nature of things. But looked like it was a good-sized drift mine at one time. So, till that tree fell. But anyway, this is as far as we're going to go. This will keep going all the way up. But we're going to try to make our way down and cross up over to the other side. Okay, so crossed up and over. Not an easy task from the right side to the left side. So of this ravine, so I'm on the left flank. So what you've got is the remains of a drift mine right there. We'll go up there and take a look at it. Looks like some kind of effort to make a stacked rock wall right here. Not sure. The minecart tramway bed for this incline tramway is right here, going up the mountain. And so there's drift mine remains going all the way up. And then down below, there's another incline tramway bed for working the other ore seam. So go up here and just take a look at that. I'm sure it's closed. Okay, let's take a quick gander. Looking inside, there's a lot of air coming out, so there's an opening somewhere else. But there's a lot of debris stacked up on top of this. So, but yeah, good airflow coming out of here. But probably the drift mine is open inside, but pretty dicey to try to get back down in there. So you just see the ceiling collapsed on it right here. The opening was probably about 4 or 5 feet below me right here. So anyway, we'll just keep heading up here, up the incline tramway. We'll drop down one level and probably cross back over to the other side. Okay, I was over there a short while ago. Went up the tramway bed. There's drift mines about every 60 feet, but you know, nothing definitive anymore. All that stuff's just collapsed, covered up. So I came back down and came up here on the right side, further up, and what you got here is a combination of open cut mining and where the drift mines were. This right here was part of the incline tramway bed right here. So it's hard to say how many mines were actually up here, but they cut a lot of the ore out, man, that's for sure. So you got all this refuge right here, tailings pile. They had the rail line right here. So somewhere way up there might be cable hoist foundations for this one particular tramway, incline tramway. So we're pretty high up on the mountain right now. So not really sure if I'm going to keep going up. I may, but just wanted to video that. That's impressive. That was done strictly by brute force labor. Had hand drills, picks, dynamite, shovels, you know, no pneumatic drills or anything like that back then. So that didn't come till some years later. So anyway, we may proceed on up. If not, I may go back down and cross up over to another section and just to end the video. But anyway, nice morning for a field trip to an old mine site. Okay, so curiosity got the best of me. Took a couple of breaks. Hiked all the way up this tramway bed here, this incline tramway bed. It's over 1,000 feet from where I was down there. So the cable hoist foundation with some rods that you would usually see. This is the area that it would have been in, because this is the very top. I have a feeling that the stacked rock wall right here, right in here, is probably where the cable hoist was. Usually sometimes you can see the actual rods that held the cable hoist in place, but this is probably right here where it would have been. See some of these stacked rocks right here. They probably had a little, you know, a little shed to keep the cable hoist operator out of the elements. But that's well over 1,000 feet up from where I was, way down there. And way over there on the other side, way over 1,000 feet, are the other drift mine remains going up the left flank. But I'll tell you, I hope that guy got a free ride up in the morning when he came up for his shift. You know, just launched himself up here, because these things operated on a weight and balance system. So they used ballast cars. When they were bringing an empty mine cart up, they'd have 2 ballast cars full of stones or iron ore red ore. And as the ballast cars went down, it would bring the empty mine cart up, and it would just go like that up and down. So, but this guy had to come up here a long way every morning to operate this cable hoist. But it's probably the best job back then. Didn't have to get in the mine. But anyway, it's a it's a beautiful morning, and probably a good 1,100 foot elevation above sea level. We're at right now, so you get you a really good view. So we're gonna take a few minutes break, and then we're gonna head on back down, cross over to this flat area, and just see one last section of this mine site before we call it a morning. Okay, yeah, come back down the tramway, kind of crossed over into this other section right here. Just finishing up this mine hike here, field trip. So this is another section of open ore mining, and they had a drift mine going in right here. It's hard to, the only way really you could tell is the stacked rock wall right here, but it went in right here, and they probably had another one right over there, but you got a lot of open cut mining here. A lot of open cut mining. They just hollowed this out. But one thing of interest, you've got a bed frame right there. Now, I don't know what in the world. Man, that is a really old bed frame. What is it doing up here? And then this is something very interesting. This right here, that looks like the top ventilation shaft to, it's not going down into a mine, at least I don't think so, but the mines are underneath here. Just have no idea. But it's just sitting up here in the woods. So, have no explanation for this. Looks like it's got some bullet holes in it. Somebody was here one time. But anyway, very strange to see this. So, but anyway, that'll pretty much do it for this early morning field trip to this mine site. And nothing was open except for that one. But a beautiful day to be out in the woods nonetheless.